Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Super League. We are in the closing stages of the regular season now, and it is as tight as ever. And I'm delighted to say, joining me live, not on the bus, in person, in colour, and with crystal clear audio, defending champion Ian. How are you, buddy?
I'm good, thank you, mate. How are you?
Very, very well indeed. Thank you very much for stepping up to do comms tonight.
No problem, mate. I've not done it for a while, so I thought since I wasn't on the bus and that, I'd grace you with my presence. Being the champion, and I've got to step up and fulfil my commitments. But no, I'm looking forward to the night. Some good games, so I thought I'd get in about it.
So let's talk about your side. 4 games to go. You're below the dotted line on goal difference only.
Indeed, it's the season's probably been better than expected, if I'm honest. I think we weren't blessed with the greatest squad for the draft, but Rox has worked some wonders, brought in some outstanding players, and I think we're still in the mix. But no, it's been good. We've got probably a must-win this evening, I think, because we're losing that game to Burn. I thought we maybe deserved something, but no. But win a couple of games, and you never know. But we'll see. The other teams around about us are, in my opinion, are much higher quality than us. So if we were to make it, it'd be some achievement, I think.
Looking at the top 6 as they are now, and as I said, you've got yourself outside on goal difference, Fulchester outside on goal difference, Celtics and Badgers probably out of it, but they won't give up until it's over. Who isn't making the top 6?
Well, I'd say Celtics and Badgers definitely aren't going to make it. You'd Coast, Burn, you would say definitely. Gazelles, the form they're in, you would probably go for them. In my opinion, the weakest out of the remaining 3 in the top 6 now is probably Vikings, and that's not a slight on Jens or Dan or that. It's just against them we tend to have a good record, so if it was in a shootout, I would fancy us to beat them, but in saying that, they'll probably go and beat us now because I think we play them. Casuals have hit a bit of form. Earlier in the season, I would say they wouldn't have been making it, but Hodgie seems to have found a bit of form. Dragons, again, they're in a decent amount of form, so it really could be anybody. You can't really write off Fulchester because Macca's he's consistently up there. Ourselves, a couple of weeks ago, I thought we were definitely going to make it, but now maybe not so much. But again, it's hard. It's tossing a coin, really.
Okay. In terms of tonight's fixtures, I've been asked to get Triple P out the way early because Rob's got a flight to catch, I believe. I've also asked to get Vikings out the way early, so they'll be second. Ghost games permitting, Haggis Rose will be last. But what of the other 4 games? What's catching your eye?
There's a few. Obviously, our own game is interesting, but I think Dragons Casuals and East Coast Gazelles are probably the 2. Probably Dragons Casuals is pretty big. The rest, there's a lot at stake. I mean, Astor, Northern Burn.
Well, I wanted to ask you about this one because Astor, we know Alf has stepped aside. He's retired from Super League management. Australia boss Mike Savage has gone in on a temporary basis until the end of the season, but the sort of poetic irony of his first game as Astor caretaker against Northern Burn, who he managed in the cup.
It is. I was discussing this with another couple of the boys. I don't know if there's maybe a slight conflict interest there. I don't know if Northern Burn win 5-0 or something, I'll definitely have something to say about it. But nah, I think it's good to see Mike getting involved. Sad to see Alf go. He's been a stalwart of the league. I hope everything's okay with Alf at home and stuff, and I hope he still tunes in that. But it'll be interesting to see that. Mike, he likes to throw the odd random formation in that, and so no, it's going to be good to see. But I'll let you just decide the run and obviously get the ones early.
Let's get Celtics Triple P out of the way first, then.
Of course.
So, for those who were witness to it, excuse me, I'm choking on that water now. Triple P, in dramatic style, beat Dragons in the Cup semi-final in the week. And they go with the same team, bar the goalkeeper, is the only change. Ian already getting involved there. Try my best to bribe Mike, but he's resolute. Duggan made the suggestion, if a borderline accusation, Rob went full strength because he's got nothing left to play for in the league. Would you say that's fair?
I have. It's probably Rob just does what the fuck he wants anyway. I think he probably would have went full strength regardless. So I didn't think there was any underhand sort of that sort of thing. And I think Rob would go full strength. I think he really gives a shit. So I didn't think there's anything. I think there was any untoward towards Dragons or that. So no, I didn't buy that. I think he would have done it regardless, even if he was fucking going for the playoffs. To be honest, he's a bit of a head case, isn't he?
Yeah, he can be a bit of a live wire. In terms of previous meetings between the sides, Celtics won the alternate game earlier this season 3-1 in a game where Petit got sent off as well. At this stage, it doesn't really pay much focus in terms of past history. That might come a season or two further into the save. But these two managers have been around a while now. They know each other very well. What are you expecting from Triple P tonight, keeping that formation that beat Dragons?
Well, he's sticking with formation, which is a start, I suppose, because he tends to fucking win a game with a reasonable formation, and then the next game change it up to absolutely something fucking mental. So I'm happy he's done that. He'd be wanting to beat Greavesy, though, make no mistake. If this was against somebody else, we'd probably have changed it up again and done something fucking mental. So he'll be dying to beat Greavesy, which I'm delighted to see, and I hope he does, obviously. And I have to say, with that Celtic squad, he should be fucking doing a hell of a lot better, because it is a good squad.
Sure is. It is a good squad, however, missing Maldini, Davids and Zayaleas tonight through suspension. He has kept this massive wall of players to get through, though.
I didn't like that. It's Greavesy has tried. I think he set the season off to go by a certain formation. It didn't work. I think he's tried 3 or 4 formations, I think, and none of them have worked. He signed a keeper, Taibe, which is probably a wise move, but I'm going to bring it up because I have to bring it up. Getting rid of Shigalko pre-season or whenever it was an absolute disaster. And the only reason I'm bringing it up again is because he said he would do it again if he had the chance. And I find it absolutely fucking mental when you can look at somebody like Michelini or even Ashley Lythe can do an equal as job, or if not better job, than Edgar Davids. I think it was mental. So I didn't like his formation. His team's good. It shouldn't be where it should be higher up, in my opinion. But there's really nothing to play for in this, apart from pride.
Nothing but pride to play for. Can I ask you for a score prediction at least?
I'm going to say 2-1 PPP.
2-1 PPP. The PPP boss say the formation is horrible. Yellow card for Makalele as the home side come forward. And now Triple P Crespo over the bar. Chances at both ends. Overhead kick attempted by the home side. Approaching halftime. And Celtics take the lead through Shevchenko on 41 minutes. And there is the half-time whistle. I actually thought Triple P had more attempts than that. Maybe they had a bit of possession and they were wasteful with it. Home side, if you're looking purely at the stats, deservedly in front.
I'd say so. It looked like Triple P had a few more chances in that, but I think looking at that, certainly Celtics deserve it. I hate the formation. I need to ask Wob, where's he flying to? If it is Wob and no Greaves that's flying, I'd imagine it will be.
Yeah, it's Rob that's flying out. I'm not sure if you
have got the chat on, so I don't know.
I will soon let you know. Gattuso and Takinardi both rating 9s at half time. Increasingly naming the stadium after himself is Pete Greaves, he says, Duncan. Effenberg not performing quite so well, but you can see with those ratings why Triple P have struggled.
Takinardi, I think it was it possibly, well, I've heard him, and I think it was maybe you that said he should be getting a chance. I believe it was. Is that last season or?
Yeah,
when was
last
it?
season I told you to give him a run out. You gave him 2 starts in about 15 games.
Yes, that's true. Or Edinburgh. Is he coming up? I'm going to meet Bob.
Well, you heard it here first. Ian and Rob are going to meet if it's Edinburgh. Although it looks like Ian's. There we go. He's back.
I don't know what happened there. Sorry.
Takenadu
would probably done the job that Davids does. That's the point I was trying to make. But no, it's a good half-time, good 45 for Greavesy anyway.
As for Triple P, no one rating above a 7. You've got Emmanuel Petit rating a 5. It's almost a complete flip reverse of what you've seen from the Celtics.
It's pretty poor, isn't it? And Crespo, I haven't certainly in my time been involved with the league. I've never seen him do anything close to what he should be doing with his stats. He's going to have to change it up, isn't he? I'm struggling to see his bench. I think I can see Zidane there, which
Zidane, Wellington, Kufre are the outfield players. No out-and-out strikers.
It's no great, is it? I'd be taking D'Alessandro off anyway. Maybe even chuck Zidane on. But he's not got great options. Maybe move a couple of the forwards a bit or something. He's not blessed with options.
Very low numbers in terms of passing between these slightly more advanced players would be a major concern for me.
He's not done much, has he? And so far, I know it's only 1-0, but it looked quite comfortable with the halftime stats and stuff. So I'm hoping here it is. What's it there? Let's see.
So Zidane's coming on for Crespo with Mackay going up top.
Right, bold. I like it. I'd be tempted to push 2 up top and 1 behind here myself, something like that. But that formation itself, I know a lot of the guys in the community use that sort of formation with the 3 DM, so it is one that works. It is a decent formation.
I don't think I've seen anything of Greavesy in the chat, so we will carry on until 60. You predicted 2-1. That is still on, even though the 1 is all that's happened thus far.
I've no idea what my predictions were for Swan, so it's probably going to vary massively.
Gattuso goes to the book as we pause the game on 63. Triple P still a goal behind Salihamidzic, now joining Petit in the 5 ratings. This just does not seem to be suiting the players.
No, I think he needs to get Salihamidzic off. Chuck. What would I do? I'd be bringing Wellens on and putting him in the middle anyway, and I'd sugar it a bit to suit. Is that Emerson or Emerton? It's Emerson, isn't it?
Emerson, yeah.
Emerson. There's no
Emerton from memory is at Casuals.
Right. He was at Burn, wasn't he? And he went to Casuals. That's right. Apart from changing formation drastically, there's not an awful lot he can do personnel-wise, is there?
Swans confirmed that you predicted 2-1 Triple P in the message that you sent.
Well, there we go.
We've got a slight tactical tweak with Wellens coming on for Petit.
I like that.
He's being pushed further forward.
I like that. Maybe even 2 up top, but I like that. That makes sense. Chuck Wellens in there. I like that.
For reference, apparently I predicted 1-1. So both very much still in this. Let's see if that alteration brings any luck. Well, it didn't for a good 10, 15 minutes or so because nothing happened. Beckham lines up the free kick. And it's back out with Beckham again. Raul, and it goes behind. Here comes Raul again. Still Raul. Shevchenko saved. Can't hold on to it, but Makaleli clears. Into the final 10. Are Triple P going to get this one big chance that they need to at least get a point?
Not looking likely.
Not at all. Salihamidzic now. Candea Wellens. Back out and D'Alessandro. Wellens headbutts and the substitute is off. Wellens with a cheeky headbutt on 84 minutes.
You need to chuck 3 up top now. Just chuck the 3 up top, Wob, is what I would do. Chuck the 2 aims, go 3 up top. Nothing to lose.
Get this season in the bin. Have a good evening, says Rob.
Chuck the 3 up top first, Bob. I forgot Man City. Chelsea was on the night, to be fair.
It is. It's 0-0 with an hour played.
As I've got it there, I totally forgot it was on. It's not been that great, to be honest.
No, I missed the entire first half. I forgot it was on as well.
It's been pretty shit.
So we've got
Bob.
saying, yes, Richie lad, get it up the pricks. We've got Mr. Edwards go factual. Is that Welland's second headbutt red of the season? And he wants bigger arrows on Salihamidzic and Kandaya as well. Greavesy isn't here to do anything, so we will resume 6 minutes plus injury time to play. And the losing side are now down to 10 men. There's virtually no midfield for Triple P at all. Beckham with the free kick. Now Raul back with Beckham, deflected into injury time.
One chance.
And there's the final whistle. Celtics running out deserved 1-0 winners. Triple P once again leave a lot to be desired. Looking at the home side stats there, they were good. And in fairness to Takinardi and Shevchenko, they excelled, but they didn't have to be great tonight, did they, Celtics, to get the win? And this is Pete Greavesy, just a nice 1-0 win under no real pressure.
It was, and he's got Shevchenko scoring. I know he's not been great, but he's been scoring. I think he's maybe on 7 or 8 goals, maybe 9 goals maybe now.
That's his ninth season.
Aye, so he's doing okay. I think the most he got from me was 7, and he was my top scorer. So Greavesy seems to be getting a wee bit out of him. It's nothing flashy, is it? Just a good win, as you say, a Greavesy sort of win. Keeper 7, no bad. On the other hand,
have a very safe flight, Rob. Go and get yourself a nice early night. There's not much really to talk about here. It's as average as ever. What's Rob got out of Crespo since the move? Crespo, 3 goals and 2 assists in now 9 starts, plus a couple in the cup as well. Anyone heard from Scott? Says Swan. No. Yeah, very, very average looking Triple P. Very, very disappointed in them, not just tonight, but this season. But congratulations to Celtic, who keep their very faint hopes of a playoff push alive. Let's move on, and we wanted to do Vikings next. They are at home to Swanee's Bostock Stanley, the now dual managers at Bostock Stanley. Swan very much in charge at the moment. In terms of... So last time out, Vikings drew 1 apiece with Gazelles, and they've brought Mark van Bommel into the attacking midfield for this game. Eric Addo, despite having plenty of time left, he is currently unhappy, wanting to negotiate a new contract, but it seems Vikings cannot offer as much as he feels he deserves to be paid.
Oh, that's one I'm definitely be interested in. If he wants to move to a bigger club, he's more than welcome. Eric Addo.
Do you consider yourself a... Oh, it's 1-0 to Man City.
I was going to say that, mate. I was going to say that. But no, Eric Addo, I love him. Love him.
Do you consider yourself a bigger club than the Vikings?
Absolutely, mate. Well, they were the current reigning champions. Best goalkeeper, best defensive midfielder, best tactic, and best manager. So says Steve Wright in the league. So I didn't see why he wouldn't want to move to us. I don't know why he's playing Van Bommel AM. I'm sure that's probably down to one at Dan's had a look at or something. Duff's a big miss for the Vikings, though, especially in that sort of formation. So it'll be interesting to see how they get on. But and Totti in centre mid as well. Didn't like that either. But again, if Dan's got any say in it, it'll probably be okay.
Duff is slowly getting back to fitness, but he has missed a couple of games now. It was Romoshenko who was involved last time out. Yes, Romoshenko, and he's been left out of the squad entirely. Steve saying Addo getting shit on here. And Jens saying Eric Addo won't move to a place where their best known delicacy is a deep fried Mars bar. Still no place for the likes of Rayed, Hersey, Guigu, who did get a good coaches report. I admittedly didn't get the news out in time for this show, but Guigu was among the players to get a glowing reference from the coach. And chairman's favourite Mido still yet to make a competitive appearance for the Vikings since being called up for the first team squad. As for Bostock, Mazzantini is suspended. Yepes, Scally, Honsha, and Pazzazoglu 1 yellow away. Virtually the whole squad is unhappy.
Unhappy, I was going to say. What's that about?
Swan has gone with this.
See, apart from the backward arrows, I didn't mind it. It was actually me and Scott done something like that this ages ago on a home save with the 4 AMCs. I'm minding it done okay, but the backward arrows don't know if they'll work. But why no? There's nothing to really play for. So, it's nice to see different things in the Super League. So, all for it.
It's also nice to see the honesty here from Duggan. If Alf played this Bostock formation, I'll be going fucking nuts, calling the integrity of the league into question against a top 6 chaser. But Swan is a legend and can do what he wants. Yes, I know Mido's played in the Cup, Jens. I'm saying competitive football. None, with the exception of the 2 finalists, no one took the Cup competitively. Bostock are 11th and haven't won in ages, so fuck it, says Swan. He prefers pickled herring, says Hodgie. Let's head into the game then and ask you for a score prediction, please.
I'm going to say 3-2 to Vikings. I'm pretty sure I never said that in the predictions, but
3-2 to Vikings. This is sort of formation that Jens hates playing against, awaiting a fuck off. Totti penalty after 7 minutes gifts the home side the lead. And they come forward again, looking to double that advantage, but it goes wide. Here come Bostock themselves, though, trying to level things up. So we approach half-time.
The Vikings' colours are no good.
Side yellow card. And we reach half-time. 1-0 to the home side, but Stanley have been very much in it.
They have, I think Vikings started a wee bit brighter and got the penalty in that, but Bostock, there was more red and white came into it. If it was me, I'd probably taken the backward arrows off the 2 DMs. Is it DMs or MCs? Whatever
MCs,
it is. MCs, I'd probably take them off because they're creating chances, it looks like. I don't know, maybe even mix it up, maybe 2 up top or something, I don't know, but because it didn't look like they're being totally outplayed or that. So I'm sure Swan's got it under control.
Vikings have been good, but they're not exactly excelling. There's still plenty of room for improvement. You mentioned the 2 up top. It's an interesting one because Vikings do play it, but neither Smith nor Mpenza are excelling in it.
And Mpenza's probably one I quite like him, and I played him in a 2. I'd play him in a 2 or a 1, but he's Alan Smith. I like how Jens is giving him game time as well, but I think season 1 he's maybe not quite there yet. But I suppose the only way to get him there is by giving him game time.
Yep.
Mpenza's not really. He's not really hot off as he has done before. Whether that is a case of him playing in a 1 or no, I don't know. But he's one you've just got to persevere with. You just play him. He's just one of the players.
A quick look at Stanley. Swan's already sent his tactical amendment in. Ibrahim Saeed, they're rating a 5. We've got a whole host of 6s there. So despite stats suggesting they're performing reasonably well and creating chances, individually the players just aren't doing the job expected of them.
This to me looks like it looked like they were okay, but if he doesn't change something drastically here, it looks like Vikings would maybe score another couple at least in the second half. Just purely for the ratings, I'd be taking a couple of the 6s off. If I seen a 5 there, he'd be getting whipped as well.
So Vikings have swapped Van Bommel and Totti around, so now Totti's playing behind the front 2, Van Bommel in centre mid, and Swan has just taken the arrows off the midfielders as you suggested.
That's fair. I quite like that wee tweak by Jens. It makes sense. I quite like.
Montella levels things up. It's now 1 apiece.
That's handy, actually. Very handy.
as we approach the hour mark.
Bostock look dangerous.
Again. And it's an indirect free kick as we pause the game on 62 minutes. Desai, look at that absolute monster performance from him. Rating a 9. Etzeburi and Gore, the wide men, on yellow cards. No obvious fitness concerns either, but it has been levelled up. So does Jens do something, or does he trust the process?
Sorry, my son's just interrupted. Get back to bed. 2 seconds.
Duggan's saying it's all Bostock since half time. I'll let you take care of that, mate. That's not a problem.
Sorry, mate. My wee boy just burst in. He's way back to his bed.
No worries at all. No worries at all. Duggan's saying it's been all Bostock since half time. I was just going to ask you the question: Does Jens stick or twist now that it's all level?
I think there's a lot of riding on this. I would be making probably a change. What's the ratings looking like? I don't know if maybe need to wait for Jens, but I'd probably be. His rating's only too bad actually. Who's he got on the bench? Ado, Vodenkov, Zizi. Maybe looking at bringing Zizi on for Smith or something. Maybe who's Estebaria? There's no graceful options. I'd be starting Ado anyway, but it's maybe looking like that Van Bommel moving on by Totti's maybe been a bit of a bad move. I quite liked it. But aye.
Hodgie's asked, have you just put him in the garden?
No. Out in the kennel. No. He's away at his bed.
Duggan says, son defo thinks his Dars his Dars on chat roulette with his battered sausage out. Jens saying swap Totti and MVB again, so they go back to where they started. 3 up top. ZZ for MVB. I missed the middle one out. It makes a lot more sense then. 3 up top.
Right.
Volo for Gore.
This is interesting. It's a massive game. They need to win, really, don't they?
And Totti gets a diagonal arrow.
I like it.
So they're chasing the victory, our Vikings. As for Stanley, I can see Swan's already sent his thing in, but I'll just very briefly hold up the ratings and then the condition in case he wants to change it. The suggestion is keen on for either of the two MCs if they're on under a 7. So Aymar is on a 7, Collins is on a 7.
I'd be taking side off it. It's a strange that he's on a 5. Who's he got on the bench? Has he got any DMs on the bench?
That's almost irrelevant, I would say, when you've got Malewski and Scally already on the pitch.
Aye, well, that's very true. Move one of them back. I always hook a 5 rating. Always. Is that Tomadir on the bench?
It is.
I don't know if he'd maybe be tempted to. Would he move Montella? But I don't know.
Well, he's not. He wants to leave it as it is.
Yeah. Well, he's been all over them second half, so I can see how. Definitely, a Bostock winner here would be massive in the playoff picture.
15 minutes to go. And here come Bostock again. Aymar, Del Piero, Scally. Scally picks it up again. Gamara goes in the book. Del Piero with a free kick. Costanzo dives and puts it out for a corner. Aymar, Ekiog with a header into the final 10 minutes. Still one apiece. Del Piero. And now on the counter from the goal kick. Free kick awarded. Totti lines it up, and for the free kick, Totti scores! 84 on the clock, and Totti with the set piece.
Oh, wow.
Huge moment. And here goes Mpenza. Montella goes in the book. Into injury time. One last chance, and it might be for the home side. Walker, Totti, Etsabaria. And Mpenza! And Khan with a double save. And on the counter-attack, surely not. Etzeburia's offside. That should be enough. Indirect free kick. Does Aymar have time? Here's Malewski, Scally. Aymar's got it again. Collins. Oh, it's in the bar!
Oh, no.
And there's the final whistle.
Done, yeah.
Collins in the 96th minute hitting the bar. Both sides threw everything they had at it in the second half. And it ended up being a Totti free kick that separated the sides.
That's a massive one for Jens. His bum would have been squeaking a wee bit. Bostock done well there, though. They dominated the second half, but the wee tactical tweak probably won it there for Jens, but that's a huge win. No so good for the rest of us chasing top six, though. But that's just about maybe no sealed it, but is well on the way to sealing that top six, I think, now for Jens.
So reaction in the chat. Duggan said massive goal for Vikings. Ian Edwards, what a game, lads. Hodgie, well played. Jens, unlucky Swanee. Steve Wright, great game. Jens has said, well played, Swanee. Nice to see a new formation attacking us. And Swan said, well done, Jens. Ian, is there any space at Haggis for him?
Always, mate, always.
Desai picked up man of the match in what was a solid, if unspectacular, Vikings performance. But every player certainly played their part. It was there was a lot of teamwork and work rate involved in that one.
Yeah, but it's just me slagging Totti pre-match, and he goes and scores a double. No go for him, Penda, but I didn't mind. I would have sevens every game as long as we won 2-1. I'd be delighted with that.
Absolutely. As for Stanley, ratings certainly improved. Saeed's didn't, however. Jacques and Malevsky let the side down a little bit too, but it was a fairly accomplished performance. Again, like I said about Vikings, it was workmanlike, and maybe just, you wouldn't say that they were lacking the quality, but maybe lacking the confidence in the conviction.
Maybe, and it's maybe a formation you maybe be more tempted to try at home, because they were certainly in the game and they had the chances, which is good. It's maybe just a case of, as you say, low confidence, and maybe at home it'd be a different case. Maybe scrap the backward arrows, wee tweaks, and it might still work. There's definitely looks like there's room for it anyway.
But congratulations to Vikings on a massive 3 points. Next, we go to the local derby between Fulchester and Booths Town Badgers. Have I not done his? Oh, hang on. I've not changed his team. 1 sec, mate.
Chuck Bosnich in.
I don't know why I didn't change his team. So it's the same formation. Frey is out for a month, so he misses the rest of the season anyway. Wanted him up. And then he was going Esteban in goal, Viali and Kamuna, Kaladza, GVB and Dyer. Love that partnership. VDV and Good Johnson. Agahawa playing behind RVN and Devayo. Subs were Bosnich, Palermo.
I can't believe Tato made such a big thing. He's signing Olasadebe, and I didn't think, has he had a fucking sniff?
He's had one sub appearance in terms of competitive football.
I think he can do a job. I think. Certainly, I quite like him.
Evening, Ryan, who's joined the chat. I hope you're well, pal.
He's doing right.
Viva the hockey shaggers, says Duggan. Hodgie suggesting the reason I didn't do his team is because Tato's irrelevant. But there we go. So there's the actual team that's been selected for tonight. Frey is a huge miss. Even at this young age, he's a very established goalkeeper, isn't he?
Yeah, he's one of the best in the game, if not the best. As I know a lot of folk think he is the best. It's a solid team, a good formation. Van der Vaart's kind of faded a bit, but he's still a quality player. I don't know, Tato doesn't seem to like Kesman. I know he can be prone to a 6 in that, but I'd certainly prefer him to Devayo every day of the week. Agahowa, I'm
I'm
not
not
huge,
so sure
you
personally.
know. No, I like Cmsl. I quite like him. His wing backs, he's right midfielder and left midfielder, two of the best. It's a solid side. Again, the playoff hope's over, but he's and again this will be matching up with Fulchester, so it should be an interesting game. But I think they'll probably have. I don't know if it'll be that mirror that result, but I think they'll probably have too much for them, Fulchester.
Steve said Frey is not the best keeper on the game.
One of the, and some folk think he is.
Let's have a look at the Fulchester side then. Crucially, they're without the suspended Luis Enrique. They're also without Valgarin, which Ryan will be pleased with after calling him out in the last game. In amongst the changes, West and Stam partner each other. Ashley Cole comes in for a rare appearance, with Alex playing in left centre mid, Riquelme moving further forward to attacking midfield, and Michael Owen coming off the bench to start in place of Batistuta.
Is Luis Enrique suspended or injured? I think I missed that, did I?
Suspended, yeah.
Suspended. That's a miss because he's been fucking outstanding. But Riquelme, Maka's got numbers out of him and Riquelme, which is it does deserve praise because he's no one I'd ever go with. Luis Enrique and Riquelme I've had before, and not a big fan. He seems to get tunes out of no so good players. I don't know about Cole at left mid. I know he's good at left wing back. Alex, again, he's another one I'm not a big fan of. I've had him before. Yap Stam, I love. Ambrosini, another one I'm not a huge fan of.
That surprises me. He's top class.
I'm not a huge fan. He's just not one of overly keen on. Owen, I'm not keen on Vieira. Vieira's good. I mean, he's got good players, but it's not one of the better squads. Couple of big name players, but I think the only reason is because he's had like numbers out of Luis Enrique and Riquelme and stuff. If it wasn't for that, he would have been a lot lower in the league. And obviously he's a decent manager as well.
Can I ask you for a score prediction then, please?
I'm going to say 2-1 Fulchester.
2-1 to Fulchester. Big game this. Tato was refusing to give up on the playoffs. Maka needs a win to stay in touch. We've just seen Vikings win.
Definitely.
So a win is huge for Fulchester here. 0-0 after 20 minutes. Badgers making a good account of themselves.
Of course.
The way it's panning out at the moment, you don't see Badgers losing 4-0 again, that's for sure.
No, a Badgers win here would be very handy for me again.
And there's Giovanni Van Bronckhorst on 35 minutes. And Badgers looking to double their lead.
It's been more, but
and an injury picked up just on the stroke of half time by
Maka's going to be fucking livid. He's not going to be happy. Is he in the chat? Is he, Maka? Surely.
No.
Has he not been in it yet? No.
Not that I can see.
Who's he got on the bench?
Well, it'll be Batistuta straight swap.
It's Batistuta. It's going to have to be in it. Would you swap him for Vieira? Put Vieira to the left?
No, he normally lines up with them this way around.
Sure.
But yeah, no sign of Maka, so I think we just go with that substitution.
I'd agree, mate.
It'll take us through to half-time anyway. Fairly even game all round.
It was, I think, but to me, it looked like Badgers definitely had the better of it, and it kind of backs it up in the stats here. But I thought maybe more so than that. Fulchester know that you wouldn't put money on Batistuta or that grabbing a goal in the second half. So it's definitely still a lot to play for.
Let's have a look at the Fulchester stats, and again, like we saw with a few other teams, it's fairly average reading, isn't it?
I don't know if Maka has been playing Riquelme in AMC. I didn't think he has off the top of my head. I think he's been playing him in the MC role and Luis Enrique in AMC. I didn't like AMC's stated position on the game. Playing in AMC normally, I normally play forwards in that role. I don't know. I just didn't like it for that reason. I normally get numbers like this at them. But
as for Badgers, it's a mix of the sublime to the ridiculous. Kieran Dyer I mean, the least said about him, the better, obviously, but he seems to be having a good game in terms of ratings. And then you see Van der Vaart at the complete opposite end of the scale.
It's a bit of a freak. I can't even see who he's got on the bench. Fife, has he got any centre mids on the bench that you could bring on for Van der Vaart or move?
He's got Fermani.
Has he got like a forward that he could chuck Agahiwa back or something? Tato.
Palermo and Vlahovic are both on the bench.
Right. De Vaio, he can maybe play AMC as well, can't he? Is he a forward left centre?
He's a forward, yeah.
I would maybe, for me, I would do something like that. I'd probably move him back, take Van der Vaart off, move maybe Agahiwa, but I'm not keen on Agahiwa in midfield either. But
well, at this stage, it's all circumspect because Tato's already said as is till 60.
Well, that's fair enough. Should they tell me to shut up, mate?
Not at all. Not at all. There's requirement to level, please. Oh, it's been disallowed. It's been disallowed. And at the other end, Badgers try to double their lead again. And on the hour.
Big game.
Mac is not here, so we'll just flash these up for when he watches it back. See if he would have done anything. As for Badgers, could they be about to put a Tato-shaped spanner in the works?
I hope so. I really hope so. I don't know if Maka would have done anything just where I'm getting that goal disallowed. I don't know if he would have. Tato, on the other hand, I could see him doing something mental here. I don't know if he should either, though.
I think Van der Vaart should come off, still rating a 5.
Is he still in the 5? Well, as I said before, I would always hook 5s. Again, that his options are sort of limited with the 2 strikers on the bench. I think.
The thing with that is, I mean, depending on how he wants to play this, if he thinks there's room there for a second, he drops Agahiwa back, drops De Vaio back 1, and puts Palermo up top. Or if he wants to hold on, he just straight swaps Fermani in there.
Well, I didn't really like Agahiwa and that in midfield either. But he's just. When we get to my game, I've sort of got a kind of that dilemma because I've not got a centre mid on the bench, so I can't really say too much.
The choice is that Vlahovic comes on for Van der Vaart and he gets a little attacking arrow as well to run a bit forward.
Okay. I really hope I probably need Tato to win here, to be honest. So.
Well, let's see if he can hold on. Here comes Fulchester, sensing the urgency now.
Mm-hmm.
But Agahiwa, Dyer picks it up. De Vaio! Corner kick. Van Bronckhorst takes it. Agahiwa. Alex heads clear. Into the final 10. To Fulchester. They've got the big game players. Do they get the big game moment? Nakata wins the tackle. And he tries it himself just over the bar. And now here they come again. Ashley Cole. Perfectly timed tackle sets Badgers off on a counter. Van Nistelrooy puts it over. Viali, Dyer strays offside 4 minutes. Tato didn't realise the goal got disallowed. He would have done a different sub. Oh, fine save. Into injury time. This could be a huge missed opportunity for Fulchester. Batasuta Vieri. Inches wide for Vieri. Goal kick, Esteban, Agahiwa, Van Nistelrooy. Oh, they've done it! It's 2 for the Badgers. Van Nistelrooy's 5th of the season, and those chasing the top 6 place are suddenly breathing a lot easier because Badgers have just put one massive nail in Fulchester's coffin. They're certainly not out of it yet, but that result does not help.
It doesn't it? And also that second goal could be equally as massive for the goal difference because I know we're all around about 10-ish, so I think that could be huge as well. I've got a horrible feeling about this now because Maka said that Cmsl and me would be missing out, so I've got a horrible feeling I'm going to get beat and the Dragons and that's going to win and just sort of wrap this up. But no, that's a big blow to Maka. He did say he was going to lose as he normally does, but no. Impressive for Tato matching him up and getting the win. It's a good win for Tato.
Reaction in the chat. Badgers back in the fucking race, says Tato. What a result, says Ian Edwards. Massive, says Jens. That's massive. That Vikings win looks even better now, says Duggan. And on behalf of Macca, Rox would like to be the first to say redraft. Again, this is just a very average-looking set of data here from Fulchester. There's nothing here that's overly inspiring, really.
No, but I've got a feeling when you look at the other side, it'll not be too dissimilar. There'll maybe be a couple of less sixes, but the keeper six isn't. Well, didn't listen to a word I say. It's not like it, but no, the keeper six would be what I'd be drawn to. It wasn't. It didn't look like a too one-sided a game, but the Badgers, they definitely deserved it. I'm struggling to see. I can see a 10.
Kieran Dyer got a 10.
Is there only 1 6? And I said they wouldn't be too dissimilar. Well, not too dissimilar. But nah, thoroughly deserved win for Badgers. I think Macca's he's not completely, because I've got a feeling we're going to lose tonight. But no, it's certainly a wee blow, shall we say?
Well, it's a wee blow to Fulchester, but huge for Badgers and huge for everyone else chasing the top 6. Next, shall we go? Who are you playing? White Rose. Yeah. Let's go to Savage Astor versus not Savage Burn. I did see a comment as I was flicking through the chat earlier saying that teams that Astor had left to play would be worried that there'd be a proper team selection now. This is what Mike's gone with, and he is a fan of going with no arrows. I remember this from his time in Australia. Not a bad-looking team, this, but then again, we always said that Alf had a good squad.
He does have a good squad. It's still not one I would go with, and I definitely the thing my eyes are drawn to instantly is Robin and MC. I know he's a good player and stuff, but I wouldn't be playing him there. The rest of it's a standard formation. Apart from Robin, everybody else seems to be in the right positions. I don't know if he's got better options than Janiched. I know Ndai was suspended or injured, whatever it was, but I like the front two, Pires and EMC. Has he got a better option there? I'd probably, for me, I would have put Brugink in AMC or that FC role. Robin would have been on the left midfield, and I maybe would have pushed the other DMR up to midfield. But what do I know? It's a great side. We've said it for the get go. It's a good squad. He should have done a hell of a lot better than what he did, and I'm sure Savage will get a couple of pick up a few points hopefully before the end of the seasons. Aye.
A nice nod to the former manager with the tactic name Bridge over troubled waters as well.
I like that.
Last time these sides met was a cracking 8-goal game that Northern Burn won 6-2.
Was that not a stupid formation I've played though? Was that not some fucking something mental? No, not really.
No, and he had Ndai playing in his proper position. He had Montero and Terry playing at centre-back. Ferguson in midfield, and he still got dicked 6-2.
I don't know why. He's never played Robin in his correct position all season. It's been frustrating. That's the one thing I would say about Astor. He would have to play left midfield every day of the week for me. And I would have tried to get him, but I got gigs, so I didn't bother. But no, he's got to play left mid for me.
Northern Burn have had to draft Sammy Hippier in to replace the injured Martin Lursin, while Jens Jeremys replaces the suspended Tamazi. Ryan saying Sigalko's a joke, shouldn't be in the league. Currently leading the race for the Golden Boot. Other than the two mentioned changes, everything else remains the same.
They done us in their last game. I think he had a couple of, I think Jeremy's was missing, but it's just a solid. His first 11's one of the better in the league. Outside that, it's maybe a wee bit weaker, but if he can keep guys fit, and Shigalko, as Ryan said, he's fucking silly, isn't he? But no, I think Ian's definitely one of the teams that is nailed on for top 6, and I can only see a Burn win here.
A Burn win is predicted. For those interested, Man City have finished with victory over Chelsea. As we kick this game off, shouldn't be in the league, he says. And Sigalko, the man mentioned in the chat, opens the scoring 1-0 to Bern. Or a good opportunity to level that for the home side. Penalty awarded. Sigalko, with his 25th of the season, has probably ended this as a contest before half-time. Kit clash madness, says Dan. Completely agree. I don't know why they've been allowed to play in these similar colours. Burn 2 up, brace from Sigalko, guaranteed 3 points and almost certain to win the Golden Boot.
So it's pretty one-sided. It's definitely over. You could probably see this being like a 4-0, to be honest. But Astor, the confidence is that low. I think Savage, it's going to be difficult for him to get in him, but he's not done nothing too outlandish. He's tried to just go back to basics, but I think it's just the season's that far gone for Astor. They just be what to get fucking over and done with now, I think.
Ian has already gone as is without even seeing his stats. Dan's pointed out Sigalko has 7 against Astor in a game and a half. And Rock said, can we please get edited screenshots to reflect Sigalko in the goal scorer charts versus Astor and versus everyone else? I mean, I'm sure someone can do something for me. Should only get half a star for winning it with Maxim, says Ryan. What does Swan do? He's got Chiesa on the bench, Pawe, Torricelli, and Butt as the substitute goalkeeper.
Looking at that, I mean, when your supposed best players, Robin, Ferguson, and Zanetti, are on a 5 and 2 6s, you're kind of up fucking shit creek there. Again, I wouldn't have Robin in the middle, but that's maybe just personal preference. Or maybe personally, I'd be changing a formation. I know Savage likes a wee bit around the formation. I'd be doing something because it's just going to peter out. It's been one-way traffic. You'd have to try something different here.
Viduka off, Chiesa on. It's the only change.
Mm-hmm.
Just very briefly, I know Ian said no changes, so we'll just flash his stats up there. I mean, Rui Costa on a 6. Fiore as well on a 6. So there's a chance to overrun that midfield for Astor if they can sort it out. Alpha's done a De Boer on this team, says Jens. Some early attacking in the second half. Astor, oh my God, all the time goes by with nothing happening after a very quick start. So 77 on the clock. The managers have 15 minutes to enforce any change. Can you see any way back for Astor at this stage?
Nah, it's done now. Now I would probably just chuck 3 or 4 up front. It's done. Like, I know Ian's just going to say as is, so we ain't doing anything. If he doesn't touch it, it's just going to peter out. If he does touch it, it'll probably peter out as well. 77 minutes is highly unlikely. 1 in 100 or something that you would maybe get back into this, but nah, not happening.
Going back on the previous point where Ryan said you shouldn't get half star for winning it with Maxim, Steve's gone back at him. No such thing as half a star, Ryan. Yours could be halved given the state of some of the teams involved then and how they were managed. So Mr. Wright not taking kindly to the former 2-time champion.
Just to play devil's advocate, Sigalko has been pretty pissed in the Super League as well. I know maybe less so than being amazing, but he has. I remember him being not so good. I don't know if it was a bit of Nikiforenko syndrome or something, but it is a bit of a cheat code, isn't it? Let's be honest.
I prefer to call him a quirk of the game.
Well, aye. Or that.
Just waiting for Mr. Savage to confirm if he wants to do anything in the meantime. While we wait for that, just flash up the Burns stats. Montero performing really well, as of course is the 2-goal Sigalko. Burns struggles well and truly behind, says Duggan. Mike is making changes. Gianna Cheddar into MC. Soren and Zanetti arrows to MC. Robin to striker as a free.
I didn't mind. I take your centralising the midfielders. Aye. I didn't mind that. As I say, you need to do something because it's probably just going to peter out, but you stand more of a chance if you do something like this. I'd probably push them up to mid, to left mid and right mid as well, but it's probably good. It's probably
Ryan's gone back. Every manager in the league back then was better than Steve, apart from Hopkins.
Oh, that was a chance here.
Sigalko nearly has a hat trick. I believe there's 3 minutes to be added on. Astor are putting a little bit. Oh, they've got one. Oh, it's been ruled out.
See, they had a wee chance just after they subs, and if they scored that, you probably could have seen them getting another one. That was the only sort of chance you had, but nah, Mike done the right thing there.
Hodgie said that Hopkins pound for pound was the worst ever. A bit harsh. But Byrne running out 2-0 winners, probably deservedly so, given that Astor were wasteful in terms of even testing the goalkeeper. The home side stats. Do you know what? I actually expected worse. So credit to them for putting in something that resembled a performance, even if it was very average. In fairness to Mr. Savage, he is playing with a very low morale squad.
I say that's a bit of a thankless task at this stage of the season. They've been fucking pummeled dry the whole season. The morale is going to be rock bottom. He's came in. He's not been disgraced anyway. I mean, I just got beat by Northern Burn the previous week, so he's certainly no disgrace. Average ratings, as you say, one of the worst. So it's no disgrace to him. And when Shigalko scores 2, there's not a fucking hell of a lot you can do about it. So no, I think he should be too disheartened. And just when after the subs he made, they had a chance. I think it was Robin had a chance, and if that had went in, then obviously the disallowed goal to, you could have seen him come back in it. So definitely positives to take for Mike.
Have you sacked the manager in game 5? No, not yet, because Alf announced he was leaving once I'd already advanced to game day. So if I'd done it, then Savage wouldn't have been able to pick a team at all. Any reason Alf wasn't sacked with Savage added? Yeah, that, as I've just explained. Alf told me when we got to game day, so had I sacked him, Mike wouldn't have got to do it, and it would have been an AI selection. So Mike will have his name in place, ready for the next game on Sunday. But congratulations to Byrne, a win that almost probably must secure their playoff spot now with so few games to go. We'll do Dragons casuals next. To one side, both sides, sorry, inside the top 6 currently. So this is the away side. They're without the injured Lillian Thuram. They make just the one alteration from memory. Ronaldo coming in for Claudio Lopez, who drops to the bench. Other than that, unchanged.
Strong team. I can't. Off the top of my head, I can't remember him playing Zeriberto left midfield that much this season. I think he's
played there since he's had him.
I don't know. He's played DML. I'm sure. I'm not because I'm pretty sure he's played him defensive midfield left.
I'm pretty sure Hodgie's hardly changed his formation because he's been winning so many games.
How many is that in a row?
Well, he's 4 games unbeaten.
Go to the one before that.
And he's only lost 1 in the last 6. Even when he got changed up, he was playing left mid.
I thought I'd seen him playing defensive midfield left because I didn't think he's as effective in midfield left as what was. Well, he wasn't for me anyway. That's what was the point I was going to make. But it's one of the definitely one of the best squads in the league. Outside he's 11, he kind of fucked about and brought in Alan Johnson and that, but the squad's definitely good enough to be up there. He's went on a wee bit of a run now and he's looking dangerous for the playoffs. I was kind of hoping he was going to jack it, to be honest, because if he puts a bit of effort in, he should be capable of fucking making the top 6.
Swan said, pointless stat of the night. That second Northern Burn goal was the 3,000th goal since the beginning of season 7.
Brilliant.
Incredible stat, that. Barry Ferguson got a 7. Savage will be given the job for the next 1,000 years. He's played ML pretty much the entire time. Yep. How to solve a problem like Sigalko. Not with Marco Raymer, it seems, says Mike. What's so special about season 7, or is that when the stats started? Yeah, that's pretty much correct. One more ineligible comment, Steen, you'll be in timeout. And Dan suggesting it was just Sigalko's 3,000th goal. As for the Dragons, they obviously suffered that cup disappointment, but it's the first team squad back out. Although, interestingly, he sticks with Radaby and Udeze. They're not normally the first choice centre-back pairing, but they obviously did enough in the cup game to warrant a place. Cafu is still considering the contract offer. He's another one who hasn't whipped the pen out quickly to sign it. What do you mean that's not right? That's what you sent me. I'm literally looking at it again now.
Well, I seen his team earlier, and it was Radibe and Udeze at centre half, and I was a wee bit surprised. I thought he must have injuries or suspensions or something. But if he's done that through choice, I'm slightly surprised at that.
I'm literally looking at it again now. Yeah, it's Bayer, Radaby, Udeze, Cafu, Gerard, Leon Pugh, Bowyer, Keane. Yeah, this is it. Right, so you can't see the chat, so I'll just read out how this is going down, okay? But whoa, Fifey, that's not right. Hang on, Fifey, that's an error, mate. I've sent you the cup picture, which clearly can't be, because other than those two, everyone else is the same. I'll go with your ruling, but that should clearly be Nesta and Keown.
Well, he posted the team earlier, and it was that. That was he posted earlier, and that was the team he put out to face Walton Casuals. Definitely.
Yeah, no, he definitely did. So Hodgie is in the chat. I will leave it up to the opposition manager if he's happy. Although, given that he's gone with that's unfortunate as a comment.
Nah, that's unfortunate. It doesn't get to change that, because I know for a fact he would not let me fucking change it if I'd done that. So no chances get to change it. No fucking chance.
Doug is saying no. That even Doug is saying no now. So he's sticking with the team. So it's first choice apart from at centre back.
Seriously, see if it was. I probably would let him change it, but I know for a fact none of yous would let me fucking change it. So I'm not. I agree with that. I was shocked though. I thought he had suspensions or injuries. That's what I was thinking with Nesta and Keown.
No,
so it's just an error.
He's just an error, not paying attention to his
fucking. Packs. He's going to be gutted at that. If he wins this, he'll be fucking jumping up and down. But if he loses, he's going to be unless he's done it deliberately because he thought he was going to lose anyway. So he's playing it that he's going to say it was a mistake. That could be his angle as well, you know.
Dan's saying Radaby to score now. Rox is saying add some Wibwob to compensate. Wood has just called him a nugget. Amazing what happens when you get past 10 at midnight before. Tell a bit. You've got plenty of time. Behave yourself. Everyone else managed to do it just about correctly. It's not my fault if you couldn't do it. All you literally have to do is send me 11 names. Wallpapering took fucking ages, says Dimble. Almost Steve Wright levels of amateurness, says Ryan. Tough call to leave your centre-backs out of suspension danger, says Jens. And Wood is saying, no, he's just a nugget. So we carry on. Wow. So, we've got the not asked comment now, which means I'm definitely getting a message afterwards.
Is it 8.5?
A score prediction, please.
Oh, well, honestly, he's going to end up winning or something now. But looking at that centre back pair, and I'm going to say like 2-1 to Walton. But it wouldn't surprise me if Dragons end up winning this. It wouldn't surprise me.
Imminent Dragons this video following this stream regarding selection rules. Let's kick off and see what happens. I think you're right. I think Radaby and Udesi, having just played together, they'll be fine. The manager clearly believes in them anyway.
It's just Udesi, he's quite underdeveloped at the minute.
And there's Archie back to give Dragons a 1-0 lead.
Udesi's good, but season 1 he's still a wee bit short.
It's all Dragons. They look to double their lead here.
I knew this was going to happen. It has been all Dragons, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Casuals have seen some of their rivals get big results. They need to get something from this game. Hodgie won't be panicking yet, just approaching half-time, but he'll be aware. Oh, it's 2, it's Ronaldinho. Radaby and Udesi's celebration run up to their manager and say, see, you should pick us more.
Duggan will be getting Radaby and Udesi on each arse cheek tattooed after that.
Wooder pointing out that Radaby and Udesi is still decent. 2-0 at half-time to the Dragons in what has been an enthralling first half. Casuals have had a few shots, hit the woodwork twice too, says Rox. What a centre-back partnership that is, says yes. Needed the second, says Wooder. All this fluff and it was a masterstroke, says Savage. It has been an entertaining first half, hasn't it? Let's have a look here. Cafu rating a 9, so clearly that contract's about to be signed. Radaby is captain 7, Udesi 7 as well. I mean, they're not winning a great deal of tackles and they're not having to do much in the air.
No, maybe just not been tested much, but again, that second goal, as Wooder alluded to, is pretty big. I mean, if Casuals didn't get a goal early second half, I can see Dragons probably just sort of seeing the game out, but a wee early goal would maybe make it interesting. But no, it couldn't have worked out any better, could it really? And as I said, you could see something like that happening. Buffon 5. Oof.
Duggan going as is. Dimble saying, love that after the drama. Rox saying, not asked. And Jens saying, forget the editor. There's 80 years of experience in that partnership. You're right to point out. Buffon 5. Clompe 5. Cambiasso 5. Say Roberto 5. This is horrific. Ronaldo 5.
Ronaldo's shite, honestly. He's
and Zé Roberto's fitness has dropped to 24%.
Oh, see, I haven't seen that and just fucking played on, so he obviously needs to whip him. There's loads he could do there, isn't he? Whatever he does, he needs to do something fucking drastic, but no, it's not looking good. Not looking good for him, is it?
So, Lopez is coming on for Ronaldo. Still no word on Zé Roberto.
I'll be fine.
I mean, we've seen players start games on what was it? Was it Effenberg or who was it that Rob played on like 5% fitness?
Guerrero, was it the Guerrero? No, I can't remember. I remember he done it though. I had a feeling it was Guerrero or something, whatever his name is.
Zé Roberto always dies at this stage of the season. Jens confirming it was Effenberg.
So what have you got to do?
Okay, no, I worked it out. So Zambrotta's moving to the left, and Zé Roberto is coming off for Brett Emerton.
Oh, that makes sense.
Zetterberg, yeah, that was it. Zetterberg was the player who Rob played on stupid fitness. Right, let's kick off the second half, see if those changes can get Casuals back into this, or are Dragons with their solid centre-back partnership going to run wild? We've reached the hour mark. It remains 2-0. And look at that. Radaby's up to an 8 rating. He's loving life. Constantinu is the one letting the side down for Dragons. Don't know what Duggan was worried about.
No, they're going to end up getting a clean sheet here, aren't they?
That's right. Dimble's reminding me, yeah, Zetterberg announced his retirement, so Rob did it to him again.
It gives Duggan questions for the next game though. If they do get a clean sheet and win this, does he change it or does he go again?
Sinkoviak coming on for Constantino, Ronaldinho going up front. Hodgie saying as is.
Gave up.
So 2-goal deficit, not worth slowing this one down currently. Oh, but there we go, Everton with his first ever goal, and now there's 10 minutes to play.
Here we go.
Zambrota with the effort for the edge of the area. Our Casual's going to do this. They're piling on the pressure all of a sudden. Decor again. He spotted an incident. Free kick. Zambrota. Still Zambrota. Zambrota done it on the 85th minute. Wow.
Oh, that's huge. Absolutely huge.
And no, surely not. Soroczynski, Decor. Veron. Oh, he is blaming the centre-backs for this, that's for sure. Brad, to be clear, Soroczynski, Cambiasso. Everton. Oh, my God, they've done it.
Wow.
Everton. But it's not over yet. Dragons come forward.
What a game.
Surely, it's 3-0. What the fuck is going on?
Fucking hell. What a game.
Oh, Buffon gets booked. And it's finished real.
What a game, man.
Just see.
That's handy for the rest of us as well. Some game, man.
So, just to clarify what's going on in the chat, because obviously these comments are flying through just after we're seeing the stuff happen. Ryan put, Casual's looking beat here. Where is the Gascoigne to console the manager? And then all of a sudden you get Rocks. I mean, let me flash them up for you. We got Rocks. Wow. Steve. Oh my. Rocks got past Udesi Radaby. Tater, that fucking Dragons defense. And then it changes again because then you get, oh my dear fucking God. Jesus Christ. You got Rocks saying, stop that football. Tater said, I'll take a draw here. Rocks wasn't asked by the end. Limbs all round the ground. Bloody hell. Fan-fucking-tastic. Great game. And then Fifey reaching 3 octaves higher than Mariah Carey. My throat hurts after that. I mean, Ian, that is up there with one of the best conclusions to any Super League game ever, isn't it?
That is, mate. That was some game. It really was. I would watch that. I'd pay to watch that. I'd even go as far to say that. Nah, it was fucking superb, mate. And it's probably handy for the playoff chasing teams, but I think Hodgie's got to be fucking delighted with that. But if I'm
Hodgie, I am raging with that. We've come all the way back from 2 down to be winning and then throw it away. I
know, but after 62 minutes, he was looking dead and buried. So I think both of them will be delighted. I was going to say Duggan's going to be fucking happy as well because he was looking like he was going to throw it. So both of them are going to be. If it was me, I'd be happy with the point there because it was a fucking great game. I'd point probably no too handy for either of them, but it keeps them in the race. Just brilliant. Good game. Good game.
Wood is saying Nestor and Keown shut the game out.
Yeah.
That is absolutely fucking. What the fuck? That is a horrific call from you. If you get fucked, behave yourself. It's not my fault you didn't do your team properly. Anyway, let's have a look at the stats. Udesi dropped to a 6, so he is definitely getting blamed for everything.
What was a horrific call?
I'm guessing not letting him change his centre-backs when clearly it was wrong when the team he submitted.
You can't, because I know for a fact I wouldn't have been allowed to do it, and it would be not, you can't do it, and I'm sure you would say the same, Doug, and you can't do it. So I personally, I would have been like, if it's a mistake, but you posted the team and tagged Walton Casuals in it as well, so that's how I thought it was fucking meant. But anyway, you've got a point, so stop moaning.
Enjoyable for 30 managers, that best game of the night, says Steve.
It was a great game, it was. It's a good point for you both as well. It's kind of, take it and run.
Get the packs at a reasonable time, mate. Never made a mistake in 5 seasons of being in the league. Fuck off. Okay, let's put this in perspective. You left Gazelles after about 7 games because you were rock bottom and couldn't hack it. So that's a mistake. And then you got back as quick as you possibly could because you realised your mistake was leaving in the first place. So you can make mistakes.
It's 2-0 up, it was the morning.
You were 2-0 up against Casuals and you managed to draw 3-3. That's a mistake. Let me see, can I think of a third one? Oh yeah, you managed to finish top of the Super League table, get all the way to the grand final and not win it, which I also think is a mistake when you consider how well you did with that team. So there's 3 mistakes. But it's my fault that he left.
It's a good point for both of them, honestly. It could have been quite fatal for either of them. Really, it could have been in the bigger picture, but it's a good point. They're both still in it, and if I get beat, it's probably just keeping as it is. So, and Fulchess has already been beat. So
why have you stopped being a gobshite? You're fucking having a go at me for sorting packs for you, but because they weren't on a time scale that you liked, it's my fault you did it wrong. Everyone else managed to do it without getting it wrong.
Let's move on anyway. Let's move on.
Yeah, I'd love to move on. Let's have a look at the Casuals team. The Dragons have been up long enough. Zambrotta's rating up to a 9. He did very well that second half. He still seemed all over it. Has anyone ever signed Mason Java? No, he's never made it into the Super League. I mean, in all fairness, the ratings, with the exception of Zambrotta, they don't look like the ratings of a team that would have come from 2 down to win 3-2.
No, I think they were that horrific at fucking half time, weren't they? It was like fucking fives across the board. I think he's done amazing to get back in it. Buffon, I think, was Buffon on a 5 at half time?
So yes, he was. They had something like 5 players on a 5 at half time.
So Buffon, he's on a 6 here, but he's got the yellow card, so he probably would have been up to like a 7 if he didn't have the yellow. So you know what I mean, he's probably stepped up to the plate second half. But nah, as I say, if I was Hodgie, I know what you were saying about him being in front and losing it, but both of them should be happy with the point there because it was a fucking mental game. Duggan's no picked the right team, so again, taking a point at home against Casuals is good. Hodgie should be happy because he was 2-0 down. You should both just fucking be happy, move on. They're still in the race. I'm going to get beaten in the next game, whenever it is. Anyway,
I think both managers deserve a huge congratulations for a very entertaining game of football. This is what the Super League is about. These sorts of results with this sort of drama. Have we got one more before you? Yes, we do. We have the one that you were actually looking forward to, Coast hosting Gazelles. Big game this, first versus third, with Byrne already winning as well. And they've seen what pretty much all the top 6 rivals have done. Let's start with the away side. They keep their game week 22 formation. The only change, Mendieta. Ryan said, I mean, I would be fuming. If I was Casuals, I would have been too. Mendieta coming in for Phil Neville, who drops to the bench now that he's available again. Everything else remains unchanged. From the side that got the draw with Vikings last time, they've had a difficult run of fixtures, haven't they? If you, Vikings, they played Casuals recently as well. They had the Haggis Cup game in between. They got the Cup final in a couple of game weeks' time as well.
Their last game against Astor is interesting because I know my running's quite difficult, and I think the guys that's in and around the top 6 will also play each other, so it's kind of similar, but that was quite difficult.
Yeah, I think did we look last game week or the game week before, and I think there's at least 2 of the current top 6 playing each other every game week.
It's crazy. It's crazy tight. It is. So that's what I mean. You could lose a game. Fulchester certainly are out. It doesn't do them any favours, but they're not out. In this game, I was maybe 2 weeks ago. I would have been probably wanting a draw or something, but now I definitely want Gazelles to lose because I think Dimbles he's going to probably finish top. So here I'm looking for a Gazelles loss. No disrespect to Dan, but he's done great this season. Got players that I like. And players that I absolutely fucking despise. The players that I like, he's playing in the positions I'd play. Martin's still in the background like some sort of fucking puppeteer. So they're not the most likeable side, but you've got to give them absolute credit because Dan's done a good job and Martin's done a good job of getting Dan on board. So they deserve credit, but they're not my most favourite side, and that's no disrespect. It's probably just because they're good, and he's getting tunes out of like Rivaldo, who I fucking hate. So I've got a bit of resentment there for that as well. But aye, Fuck that, great guy.
East Coast have altered a couple of things and some interesting selections. In terms of personnel, Paredes comes back into partner Vogel in holding midfield, and Petkov playing a more advanced role to where we used to see him in the Super League, but we have seen him cause damage there before. Particularly, I think Dan may have done it when he was at Leddersford for a bit. So interested to see how he partners at Henry. Larson drops out the squad completely. Substitutes bench Mendes de Silva, Agat, and Eto, the outfield players. So yeah, interesting squad. We just see Skalka get 2 more as well. So Anelka, who I believe from memory is second in the Golden Boot race, but he's now bordering on nearly 10 goals behind. He's not going to catch it, unfortunately, is he?
He's not going to catch him, but he's still doing good. I mean, he's. I don't know how it normally, but now in a home saving that, I think the most I've had of him is like a season before he starts his wee fucking niggles or misses training or something. So I think he's doing well to keep him ticking over and relatively happy. I mean, he done it with Bostock, but he wouldn't be one I probably would have went my way to sign back Dimble. There's definitely a few Dimble sort of players on there, Petkov and that. But no, I think Dimble's definitely going to win the league. I think there's no much doubt in that. Probably going to win the whole thing. But and deservedly so, because he's had a good season. He's that's all I can really say. Really, he's good squad and Dimble players and just been really good.
No, that's absolutely fine, mate. And that one, the penultimate one ghosted. So we have to wait for that top of the table clash. Instead, we go to your game at home to Rose. Steve has run the changes. He's using the 4-wall tactic. And I do like the look of Samuel Lucio, Button Vieira as a 4. That is very strong core there. Dede, we know his qualities. I'm still not sold on either of these two in the AM positions, Nicky Franco and Carboni, but Hussein finally gets reinstated to the lineup.
As is one of the better lineups I've seen this season for White Rose. As you were saying, like the defensive half of the pitch looks up there with the best in the league. For me, it's fucking amazing. Samuel's been a great signing for him. But I don't know about Dede at left midfield. I'm not keen on defensive midfielders in that position. I prefer like a attacking midfielder left, like Giggsy sort of thing. That's just my personal opinion, though. I'm sure he'll be all right. I don't know about the attacking midfielders, Carbone and Nicky Franco, but you just know they're going to fucking do something here. I've got a horrible feeling. Steve's been absolutely fucking murdered all season, totally underperformed, and he's just going to end up picking up fucking a win here and more points towards the end of the season. It's obviously going to happen. But no, I think Steve would probably be the first to admit he's had a really poor season, probably because he's chopped and changed too much.
He's put Dede can play AMC, don't you worry, Ian.
Hopefully another night.
So you were without Simeone suspended. Scholl still got a bit of an injury. So you've kept the majority of the side that you've had of recent times. Live comes in, Michelini moves over, and Rakoba came in attacking midfield, Figo dropping to the bench.
I was tempted to change it up, but I thought just go with it. It's done me proud for most of the season. The captain, just let the captain. I would probably say Ferdinand, but I don't know. I think I'd say to you Ferdinand, but if there's anybody on higher influence, I would say it to them. But I think he's on 18 the highest or something. So I'm just going to roll with it. I've got a horrible feeling about this game, and me on comms, my record on comms is fucking horrific. So no got a good feeling.
You really do need a positive result here, because you said about your running. I'm just looking at it here now. Casuals away, Gazelles at home, Vikings away.
That's what I'm saying. I need something here. I was hoping to pick up a point in the Burn game, and it maybe wouldn't have made this game as much a must win. If I didn't take anything here, I'm going to have to win the remaining games, which is a hard uphill task, and probably need favours in other games. So I really need something here, to be honest with you. A win would be huge, but I can't see it.
Okay, well, I won't ask you for prediction. I will just wish you and Steve the very best of luck. And
all the best, Steve.
Oh, sorry, just bear with me 1 second. Oh, that's not. No, that's fine. Ignore me. I thought the news that Swindon town manager had left his job was official, but that wasn't the official account. Is someone sanctioning a late change? No, we always let people pick their captains.
It was already picked. It was picked before.
It was technically already picked. I just hadn't done it. As was the Dragon centre backs for those who are trying to start a conspiracy. Half an hour, not much in it so far. Haggis maybe just shading it. There's Scholes with his 5th of the season on the half-hour mark to give the home side the lead. Rose trying, they have an attempt, maybe 2. There's Jimenez. What a signing he's proven to be in the second half of the season. Rakova makes it 2 just before half-time, Ian. You must be absolutely delighted.
Pretty pleased with that, mate. I thought White Rose had a few chances there, but I think it was just a case of a couple of shots on target. Well, basically it was, wasn't it? I'm pretty nervous here, mate. I didn't like 2-0 leads. I'm probably just going to let it run, to be honest with you. But I just want to get this over and done as quick as possible, mate, to be honest. And I need a piss.
Stop that recruitment.
Exactly, and I do need to say, Rox is this squad. Rox absolutely salvaged this squad this season, because if it wasn't for Michelini, if it wasn't for Sava, who's injured for the season, Adams injured for the season, Jimenez, I don't think I would be anywhere near this playoff. So I have to say, a lot of this is down to him. I have to say, he deserves massive credit.
Jens saying player for player, Rose should win this 8 out of 10 times.
Absolutely. I'd agree totally. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely.
So we have got the Rose team. I mean, Pelizzoli rating of 5
is never good, mate. It's never good. But I didn't want Steve to make excuses. It was a keeper. But I mean, it's never nice. I would prefer if the keeper got an 8 or something, so Steve wouldn't say, "Oh, it's fucking this and that." There's always an excuse or something, but it's never nice to see a keeper get a 5. So as I say, I wish it was an 8 or something, so he wouldn't say, "Oh, it's this and that and this and that." But aye, it's been pretty poor for Steve. He's probably going to change it up. Hopefully, it doesn't work for him in the nicest possible way.
I'm not playing this match, Steve, and because you're the best. Totti coming on for Carboni is the change.
Tony.
Up top, Nicky Central. So we're going front 2, one in behind.
Makes sense.
Steve said he's got no excuses. So did I do that right? Hussein, Tony, Carboni off. Yep.
But it's never nice to get a keeper getting a 5. Plus it's like every shot off it's went on target, so you can blame the keeper, mate, because I know I would be.
As for yourself, pretty sturdy ratings throughout. Ferdinand, the only outfield player, rating an 8, as well as Sander Westerveld. Everyone else on 7s, live on a yellow, and nobody's fitness dropped below 90 yet.
No, that I just roll with it, mate. It has to be. It's just a roll with it. Roll with it to 60 anyway.
Roll to 60. And there's 3, and it's Rossini.
Good for the goal differences as well. Another couple would be absolutely fantastic.
So we pause the game on 63 minutes. Now, we saw one manager, admittedly only with a 2-goal lead, but make changes and it come back. Are you risking it, or are you resting anyone? Are you looking at lives yellow? Are you looking at anyone's fitness there?
I don't know what to do. Is it 3? It's 3-0, isn't it?
It's 3-0, yes.
It's 3-0. Right, I'm going to take off Jimenez for Shearer, please, mate. That's what I'm going to do, and that's it.
That's it. Jimenez for Shearer. Westerveld with an 8 shows you've been fortunate not to concede, says Steve. Michelini with 1 tackle in the half. Transfer list immediately, says Rox. Rossini up from the reserves, did a great job. He did indeed, Mike. And Rox said many thanks to the Super League board for their understanding.
It's a big win, this. Big win.
Says how much of a joke this is, says Steve. Oh, shit! Fuck. No! I didn't let Steve do anything, did I? Sorry.
I think it would have made much difference, like, but
it wouldn't have made much difference, but still, that's just poor. Ollie's dropped to a 4, by the way.
Let him do a cup. Let him stop it again if he wants. Like, do a sub here and then let him do something else if he wants to do something like that.
Apologies, Steve. That was purely unintentional. I just lost track of where I was because the commentary manager normally goes second, but he was at home. Rock saying he nearly got traded. Another chairman error. That makes two chairman errors because I didn't do the Badger team. So yeah, I made 2 mistakes this evening, would I? I'll put my hands up and I'll say I've made 2 mistakes. Vieira will still finish with an 8, says Rox. Steve's saying leave it. I missed that one. Thank you, Steve. No point slowing this one down. It's 4. Yeah. It's been disallowed. It's been disallowed.
No, another would be lovely for the goal difference. Come on, in you go.
And the game finishes 3-0. I mean, the game itself was actually quite level, and you've just been very effective with what shots you've had. If you were to look at that and not see the score, you wouldn't think that's a 3-0 game.
No, his keeper's on a 5, isn't it? It's obvious. I was kind of jesting a wee bit to Steve, but his keeper's going to end up having a 5 here. So when we see the ratings, you could probably put down that. It's like just about everything I've hits went in. So it is unfortunate. I'm not complaining though, because that helps my goal difference no end as well. It's a huge win. We needed to win that. It was no getting away from it. We needed to win with other results. We've picked up by. Thanks, Steve. Thank you.
Good sportsmanship there.
It's not a good game, Steve. But no, we needed that win. Just where other results went, we needed it, so it's huge. But Steve.
Rossini picks up man, and he has quantified it. He's put in terms of smashing me. You deserve the win, though.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks.
Rossini picks up man of the match for his performance. I mean, what's not to like there, really? You got 1, 2, 3 players there ending on a 9. Ryan Giggs again. White Rose have been honking Dimble, you're right. Spot betting cartels at work in the Super League. Shearer came on, didn't really have much to do, but he worked a little bit as well. I mean, again, there's nothing there you can't be happy with, is there?
No, our big main players have turned up, and when they do that, we've tend to have won every game. When they didn't turn up or one of them has an off day, we tend to lose. So it didn't surprise me if they've done well, we've won. So it was good. It's good to bounce back. Steve's keeper getting a 5 as I predicted. It's a bit unfortunate because it's like everything I've hits went in. But in saying that, his outfield players haven't really done much either. It's not just a case of a keeper 5 and the rest have been okay. It's been pretty average for him. No turned up.
The fact that Vieira and Butt have both got 6s tells you that there's more wrong than just the keeper having a poor game.
It's a bad day at the office for him, but he could have said that all season as well. I mean, but what I will say is with that squad that Steve's got, if the save does keep on going in that, White Rose will definitely be in the playoffs, and if no, challenging for top 2, because the 11 he could field there, Samuel and that, and Nicky Butt, Vieira, there's definitely the makings of a very good side, maybe a couple of tweaks. But I could easily see a team like that winning the title. No worries at all. It's a class team. I think he's just maybe chopped and changed it too much. He's won it already, so he knows what he's doing. So I'm sure he'll come back stronger.
So we go back to the Coast versus Gazelles. Gazelles in the nice purple kit. The top first versus third at the start of the night. Just a quick reminder of how the teams look. And I will ask you for a score prediction.
I'm going to hopefully it'll be 2-0 to East Coast. Just from my own selfish purposes.
Evening Macca, who's decided to jump on the train of moaning, but I know his is at least partially in jest. Not just because his result, mainly because his result was negative. Adilson had a goal disallowed for Gazelles. Good opportunity this time for the home side. And there's Anelka in off the bar to make it 1-0. And it's half time. A game of few chances, much like their reverse fixture. But Coast have scored this time.
As it, East Coast did, in my mind, I'm probably fucking miles away from it, but East Coast didn't seem to be involved in high-scoring games. They normally seem to grind out wins with a couple of goals here and there. That's in my head. That's what I've got the perception of. But they're certainly hard to beat and hard to grind down. They didn't concede a lot of goals. I know that.
They don't.
But they're pretty solid. I didn't pick up on Larson getting dropped, but I didn't really rate Larson in this league anyway. I'm never sure where to play him, to be honest with you. I didn't think he's good enough. It wasn't for me anyway. I know you like him, but he's no one that I'm overly keen on. And I hope that I hope it stays like this, mate. I do, I really do. Or another couple for East Coast.
Let's have a look at the Dimble saying keep as is. Been a stitch up since day one, and I've proper snapped as a result, says Maka. Loads of fucking bullshit in terms of organisation packs. Team time, individuals involved who neglect children to play champ. Just had enough. Bad wheel, bad draft, bad transfers as a result. I mean, he makes a lot of very valid comments. Let's just pick up some of them while we let Dan decide if he wants to do anything. So team time, I would suggest that the fact that he was the one that said he couldn't get it in and it was extended for him, I think that generally the organisation of that is quite fair. Abandoning children to play champ. I mean, if any of you are abandoning your children to play champ, I can't be held responsible for that. My child's in bed.
My child's in bed.
Yeah, I'll agree that perhaps this one hasn't been the best organised because I did make those two mistakes that I held my hands up for. Packs, everyone receives them within minutes of each other, so there could be no issues there because everyone's in the same boat. Dan saying roll. Dimble also did the edit, says Wood. Okay. So now it's Dimble's fault that he's top of the league. Right, let's resume the action.
I'm surprised Dan rolled there. Maybe with the disallowed goal, he sees something that I didn't see. But there was a few sixes. I think Nedved now on a 6. So maybe would have been looked at addressing, but he obviously sees something.
Oh, Rivaldo with a good chance just as we pause it. Jens saying his child's locked on the balcony. We'll let him in soon. We'll let him in as soon as I see the next fixtures. Coast still 1 up at the hour mark. Just enjoying watching the comments flying in. I'll be honest, I don't think Dimble changes anything here. I think he's quite comfortable.
I think so. They didn't want him to look up too much. What's his ratings looking like? What's the rating?
The ratings for you?
He's not got any 6s, has he?
No.
No, I would leave it. I'd probably leave it. I think he might do that as well. I think you're right. Unless there was any glaring fitness issues, I think he'd probably just leave it, mate, to be honest.
There was no fitness issues. Keep as is, says Dimble. Right. Big night this for Dan, and a win is, or at least avoiding defeat now, is massive. So you feel he kind of needs to do something. He's getting the high end of average from his defensive players, all getting 7s, but all of his more attacking players getting 6s. Needs to change something.
He will. I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to see who's got on the bench. Who's that? Is that Saviola on the bench? You'll see him coming on.
Saviola is coming on for Dalmat.
That was. Aye, you could see that happening. He had to do something. There was too many 6s. I hate Mendieta and right wing back. I have to say, I think he's more effective in centre mid, but
Dimble knows he's headed to the win here. So we're going with a front 2 now with Adilson remaining in behind.
That's fair. He needs something here. A loss here would be quite a blow to him. With me winning and Jens winning as well, it's a bit of a blow. Another 2 picking up points as well. It's a big game. I think I played. Is it Casuals, then Gazelles, then Hools? That's my final 3 games. Every one is going to have a lot riding on it.
Mm-hmm. We're into the final 15, heading towards the final 10. Here come Gazelles on the counter. Pizarro, Adilson. Arca now gets the ball. And it's Campbell's off. Huge moment. This is Campbell's 2nd yellow card. Well, almost certainly Dimble doesn't go 1 at the back in this situation, surely.
I think he pulls an AMC back, I think, and brings a defender on.
Petkov off for Mendes de Silva and just play Henry behind Anelka?
I think so. I think that's what he'll do, to be honest. I mean, if it was like 2-0 or something, you would just move it. You just go to one at the back and see it out. You know what I mean? But I think here he has to do something. I think it's
and
not
of course,
really
Dan can also alter his tactic again now to counteract the red as well. So it might be interesting to see if he goes more adventurous, depending on what Dimble does.
I don't think Dan will, but I'd be surprised if Dimble doesn't do that. But in saying that, see, sometimes when you do this, it can backfire. So it's definitely a tricky one. But I think you were right. Petkov for the centre half. Who's his centre half on the bench? Who is it? Mendes de Silva.
Mendes de Silva, yeah. Dan's but bad week for Campbell. No Knightwood and now a red.
No what?
Because Sol Campbell, I don't know if you saw it.
I thought you meant Campbell. I thought you meant me. I did. I seen that with Sol Campbell. Sorry.
Saying how he deserved a knighthood.
He's a fucking prick. So he is. He is, man.
Right, so Mendes de Silva. This is where Jens saying this is where MDS overpowered CB stats come into play. So that is what Dimble's going with. Does Dan edit anything here? Can he afford to go any more attacking?
You can maybe go with 3 up top, but I don't think he will, to be honest.
He's just extending the wing back arrows.
He's done that through the season, to be fair. He's had them started with them longer and shortened them and stuff like that, so it makes sense.
Let's see. Deflects off the wall. Baumer manages to clear. Coast with hold pressure into the final 10. Saviola, but Kerr and Vogel managed to get rid of it. Now Baumer picks it up. Henry! Rivaldo deflects out for a corner. Vogel. Baumer. Henry again. Barthez fists it out for a corner. Mendes de Silva. Barthez gets behind it, can't hold on to it, but Nedved manages to clear it. And now Gazelle's on the counter. Saviola. Arca picks it up now. Paredes doing remarkably well. Baumer. Easy for Barthez, who sends it upfield again. Now Mark Kerr out to Baumer. And Nelka. 4 minutes being added on. We're into those 4 now. One last chance, maybe. Pizarro picks it up. Still Pizarro. Saviola. Toldo keeps hold.
Toldo.
Kerr now picks it up. Ortega. Baumer. Free kick to the home side. And there's the full-time whistle. And Coast win 1-0 to all but secure their playoff place. Gazelles now in a whole world of trouble. To be fair, they didn't make the most of that man advantage they had. Gazelles and Coast probably deserved the win looking at those stats. I think there may be a little gap now, correct? Nothing from Gazelles tonight. Yeah, Tato gets results from a pair of vans. Very good. Let's have a look at the stat. Baumer picking up man of the match for the home side. It was strong. It was efficient. It was exactly what Coast have built their whole season on, wasn't it, Ian?
It was, mate. Maybe got a wee bit nervy when they went down to 10 men, but in truth, it didn't really look like they were going to lose. And as you say, it was just a standard East Coast win, like good all round, solid, impressive.
As for Gazelles, some of their defensive ratings continue to improve. Arca performed quite well as well. His name kept popping up, but just in attacking perspective, they didn't really offer anything, did they?
No, Barthez doing good again. He's been outstanding, isn't he? Mendieta on the right. And saying that, Mendieta can get he is prone to a 6 even in centre mid, but the attacking players just didn't turn up, did they? They're not by any means, but they play me, and I think the other couple of games I've got, they're going to need to be picking up points. So
we'll have a look at the whole running in just a second.
But no, it's not the handiest for them. Let's put it that way. They could have been doing me getting something, but aye.
So today's confirms we've got Aston 0, Burn 2, Dragons 3, Casuals 3, Coast 1, Gazelles 0, Fulchester 0, Badgers 2, Haggis 3, Rose 0, Vikings 2, Bostock 1, Celtics 1, Triple P 0. Can a Badger catch a Gazelle, says Tato. Fuck this fucking draft, says Macca. Fucking disgrace. Half the league are techno mong cheats. That leaves the table looking like this, and still no P's given with 3 games to go. Coast on 44, Burn 43. Then there is a 4-point gap to Vikings on 39. Haggis up to 4th, 38. Casuals 5th, 37. Who was it that said? Let me just go back. Jens, Gazelles are hardly in a world of trouble, surely top 6. Well, yes, they are top 6 by a point. So I would say that they are in trouble because Dragons, a point behind, 36. Fulchester, just 2 points behind, 35. And Celtics and Badgers, just 6 points off. Do we still write them off? I don't know. Couldn't tell you any of the results tonight. So much controversy, like Judge Judy and Kilroy have had a Royal Rumble in the Jeremy Cole studio with Guinness. As we go further down, Stanley 26, Triple P 24. I mean, it'd be an absolute disgrace if Stanley get overtaken by Triple P, the amount of slagged off Triple P this season. White Rose on 18. I'll be honest, I don't see them getting out the bottom 2, but they're not going to finish bottom because Astor 5 points behind. Dragons Gazelles Sunday, says Duggan. Can't believe you're still watching. Should we have a look at the run-in?
Yeah.
So on, what day are we on now? Thursday. So on Sunday, what have we got? We've got Gazelles Dragons, Burn Fulchester, Vikings Coast. They're all, and Casuals Haggis. You're all at it, all 8 of you. Absolute scenes. And to be fair, if they're not ruling themselves out, you've got Badgers Celtics as well. Next Sunday is going to be the best night of Super. I might just play every game on fast and kick off an hour earlier. I mean, what a night of action on Sunday. I'd love to know who wants to do comms for that one.
That's a good day. That's a good day.
Then next Thursday, Casuals play Astor, Dragons Vikings, Coast Stanley, Fulchester Rose, Haggis Gazelles, and then Celtic. They're probably the 2 eye-catching ones. And then you go to the final game of the season where you've got Coast versus Dragons, Vikings Haggis, Casuals Fulchester. 3 huge games. Make sure you don't do any mistakes on Sunday then if it's a big one. I will try my best. I won't make any promises, but I will try my best. I've got a pretty exemplary record, so I'm not too stressed about 2 minor errors. Jens has agreed to do comms on Sunday, so what we got arguably the best night of Super League action in the history of the regular season. And we've got Sexy Jens coming on just to add that bit of class to what I'm sure will be another shit show on my behalf. Ian, I will tick through the player stats while you have your chance to give any. Have we got to?
I've got a comment.
Got 3 years ago with no P's? No, I don't believe so, Duggan. I don't believe
so. Can you leave it on that screen for a wee second, Fifey, please?
Yeah.
I'd just like everybody to take a look. Ian Edwards, if he's still there in particular, Hodgie, and whoever else at number 4 in the ratings, and I believe that'll be the best defensive midfielder in the league, as I'd stated earlier. So I'd just like everybody to soak that in. Remember his name.
Any final comments from you on tonight's action and the league in general?
No, mate. It was a great night. Some huge games, even bigger games next week. In regards to Badgers and Celtics, 6 points isn't a lot, but when you look at the other teams, they're all playing each other, so not everybody's going to drop their points. So sadly, I think it's maybe just a bridge too far, but it's still wide open. I can see there's still been movement. Fulchester are definitely not it, because it's just crazy, mate. It's going to be some running. It's set up nicely.
Yeah, it is set up very nicely. Ian, thank you very much for tonight. Look forward to seeing how Haggis get on in the last few games. Good luck for the last few games as well. As I said there, Jens has offered his considerable skill and talent on co-coms for Sunday on what is going to be a huge, potentially season-defining night of Super League action. But from me and from Ian, it may have been somewhat Controversial, but that's why we love it, really, isn't it? Good night from Super League HQ.
Cheers, everybody.